The next meeting is the Flood Control District. Again, for the records for flood control, it's Tuesday, November the 15th, 2022 at 10 o'clock a.m. Any item on this agenda is open for discussion and possible action. And we begin with the roll call. District 1.
Crosby is still here.
District 2, Supervisor English is present. District 3.
Supervisor Judd is here.
We have a complete board. Members of the public may also attend this meeting by Microsoft Teams computer or mobile app, or by phone by calling 602-609-7513 or 888-680-6714. Conference ID 637-330-904#. If you have trouble accessing this meeting remotely, call 520-432-9200 for direction. The board may permit public comment during the discussion of any item on this agenda. To speak to an agenda item, complete and return the speaker request form to the clerk of the board prior to the start of the meeting. Call to the public. Let's see what we have here. Call to the public. This is the time when you can speak on any issue not on the agenda, and you have 3 minutes. And the process is you will come to the microphone. You will have a light that will tell you when you're down to 1 minute, and you'll have a sound when your time is up. So we'll begin with Jeff Sturgis.
Madam Chair, is there a public comment for the flood control district?
You're right. It's for the regular meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. There's only 17 of these stacks here right now.
Madam Chair, Supervisor Judd here. There is a time for public comment if they're discussing an item on the flood control agenda.
Well, there is a call to the public in flood control also, and I
Yeah.
the one, and it wasn't
Wrong
specific to
stack.
flood control. So
Okay.
check to see if there's any specific to flood control. Seeing none, then I'll move on to the consent agenda, which is minutes. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the minutes of the Flood Control District meeting of October 25th, 2022.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and it's unanimous and so ordered. We go on to the action item, and I believe Mr. Mark Appel is going to explain this to us. So I need a motion. Item number 2.
Madam Chair, I move we approve Westland Resources, Inc. contract proposal P10338 not to exceed $341,670 to conduct a design concept study of the proposed 12-mile pipeline from the San Jose wastewater treatment plant in Bisbee to the vicinity of the San Pedro River for the purpose of recharging treated effluent.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Appel, could you give us information?
Thank you, Madam Chair. As Supervisor Crosby just iterated, we are asking for approval of a contract with Westland Resources. As you may recall, last summer this board approved a grant that we had received from the Department of Defense for $250,000 to support this particular project. And we also have budgeted in our flood control district budget to make up the difference for a not to exceed amount of $341,617. This design concept report or study will get us that much further down the road on our Bisbee effluent recharge project. This firm, Westland Resources, will be looking at surveys and other information related to the route that's being proposed from the wastewater treatment plant in Bisbee to the San Pedro River. And so this is the next step in our process to get that project on the ground.
Any questions, comments from the board?
Yes, indeed. I believe that this is too expensive for a study, and it goes to the wrong side of the county. It should go to the Douglas side, not the San Pedro River side, because the San Pedro River water table is the river, and it's much lower on the Douglas side.
Ms. Judd, do you have any comments?
I don't. I've investigated this thoroughly and feel comfortable. I do know that there are resources that could be put into the Douglas area, and I do appreciate Supervisor Supervisor Crosby. Yeah, I appreciate your input there. We do need to consider the Douglas Aquifer actually, and wish them well with their new adventure.
If I may, Madam
Go
Chair,
ahead.
there are some activities afoot for the Douglas and Wilcox Basins. We are in the process of applying for a FEMA grant for the Wilcox Basin to conduct a similar study, not quite as specific as this one, for the Wilcox Basin. And there is a proposal afloat for the Wilcox and Douglas Basins for a citizen input process.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Appel.
Hearing no further comments, I will call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. All those opposed?
Nay.
One nay. It still passes and so ordered. The next, that's all for this meeting. Next meeting will be the Board of Supervisors hearing room for the regular board meeting.